So hello, everybody. I'm so glad you guys are here. Very, very pleased. This is not week 6. That's next week. This is week 5 of our 6 weeks to success. So today is September 24th. It's 5 o'clock here in California. I see 4 of you guys plus me here. Anybody who comes in late gets to do the dishes. That's the way I run my typical parties, right? Sound good?
Sounds good.
They're easy dishes when you bring.
I've got plenty of them here to do for me. Yeah.
You too, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, my sink was like this. We did the going away dinner for Sid Friday night, and then we left, and then we've just been trying to get caught up, and the dishes are still. Okay, they'll be there. They're not going anywhere, Brenda.
Exactly.
They're going there. Okay. So I love it that you guys are here. This is marvelous. And give yourselves a round of applause. You are 5 weeks into the 6 weeks to success. I am so proud of each of you. Looks like Melissa's here on the phone. Let's do this just real quick because Melissa can't see who else is here. And anybody else watching, we want to make sure we're thorough. Tell us your name and the one thing you've learned from this program so far that has been the most valuable. Ooh, I'm making you work right away. Who wants to go first? Shaughnessy.
Oh, sorry. I'm Shaughnessy, and something that I learned, gosh, I'm trying to remember all the calls. Something that I learned in this program so far was how she was tracking her contacts. And so I kind of implemented some into my system, some of those.
That was from one of Jennifer's calls?
Yes.
Nice. Very good. So do you recall what it was? It wasn't Evernote, but
it wasn't Evernote. It was something with how she was organizing her notebooks. And so I'm using my notebook and Evernote. So I keep the notebook where I can just add something really quickly, and then I put the notes into Evernote and track it that way.
Oh, very cool.
This is just to take with me so I can make sure I'm doing all my people, and then I stick it in, like once I get the conversation going, then I put it in a note in Evernote. So I'm literally only writing their name and maybe like email, like Facebook message or email or however I contacted them. But then I put our conversation into Evernote.
Got it. So is it just an ongoing list or is it day by day?
Just an ongoing list, like by week. So this is my week right now. I still have more to do, you can see, but.
That's very good. Simple, easy peasy. I actually started doing something similar. Where's my little notebook? I am so buried right now. So just a notebook, and because everything gets scattered in everywhere. And this just usually I'll just put the month at the top and what parties I've got going on. So at a quick glance, are you guys still there? I just had an error message come up. So no, okay. Everything good?
Yep.
Okay. But it just, my party's up at the top, and then as the month gets closer to finishing, it's kind of where we are as a team. But that's similar, old school, right? Yeah, and then you can kind of marry that old stuff with the new stuff, and that's a good thing. Thank you for sharing, Miss Shaughnessy. Who else? How about you, Brenda? Do you have oh my gosh, wow, one of the best tips you've learned during this program so far?
I honestly can't think of one right now. Like Shaughnessy was trying to think of what my mind. I'm just really tired right now.
That's all right. It's okay. She's been running around all day.
Even just replanting in my mind, the beliefs, even just reminding myself about, the belief in our products, etc. Just using our products within the selling week, really. Sometimes you have to hear things over and over again before it really sticks, and I think that's what.
Yeah, definitely. I know. I fully agree with you, and I know we're as scattered as you were commenting too. And for me, it was hearing Shaughnessy talk about recruiting.
Yeah.
And she just, the energy made such an impact on me. And I asked myself, you know, am I exuding that much energy? When I talk about Pampered Chef, do I look like Shaughnessy? And I've been doing this for twice as long as you have, right?
Yeah.
And that was super valuable to me to watch you talk about recruiting and to watch everybody react to you talking about recruiting. So gals, if you missed the recruiting call, go back and watch it. The recording is on our page. It was remarkable and so many great tips. So that one was mine. Hey, Renee, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Somebody's got some background stuff. Oh, it's gone. Okay. So Renee, we were just kind of intro yourself and tell us the one thing from this program that has been most valuable so far that you've picked up.
One.
Just one.
There's been so much.
Good.
I don't know that I have just one. I only watched part of the thing this week. I have to watch the other part of it.
Okay.
But the recruiting, yes, I really got a lot of that recruiting.
That was huge, huh? Was that just last week, Shaughnessy?
Yeah, and let me go back here to my notes.
It was. Yeah, recruiters tell all. While you're
I think it was week 2 that really got me.
I'm going to mute you guys one by one. Who's got the background things? Melissa's having trouble hearing. Oh my. It's not Brenda. Maybe it might be Kim. You think it's Kim, Brenda? Okay. So, yeah, it is. So, Kim, I'm going to mute you just for a second. Wave at us if you want to participate, okay? Just because we can't hear. And I can hear you, and then there's this really bad static mute button. Okay. But Kim just posted, she said that it was the Facebook link to live parties. Box highlights. Okay, got it. The Facebook link to live parties has been your best tip. Is that what you're saying? Yep. And tell me more about it, because I'm not understanding. Can you guys make out what Kim's saying? Okay, Kim, type it out for me, okay, on the chat. Sorry, my friend. Renee, did you find it?
No. I don't know what I did with my note.
Okay, no problem. So,
I think it was week 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here we go. I'm finding it now.
And then Melissa was commenting and typed in, she's muted, thank you, that she agrees about the tracking system. That feels like, she said, I feel like the words to use in all the scenarios has been a big takeaway. My precious word choices were the words not to use. And where do we get the links? So Kim, Melissa is asking you, where do we get the links to live parties? Are you guys talking about, was it mentioned in Jennifer's videos? Is she talking about links to watch other people's live parties? Live party video to Facebook link.
Yeah, I think she was.
A live party video to Facebook link for video blasts. Okay. Well, I'll just take and run with that. I know, I'm asking Shelley, where do we watch old Zoom calls? Okay. The old Zoom calls. Yeah, these ones, so for these training videos that we have done each Monday night, we've recorded them, and then I upload it to YouTube, and I post the link. So those, to watch the previous ones for this actual 6 weeks program, are in our Facebook 6 Weeks to Success group page.
She's actually not on social media at all, so I've been texting her everything. So Melissa, if you're listening, just text me which ones you're missing and I'll get you the links.
Okay, good deal. Got that, Melissa? No Facebook. Gotcha, Melissa. No problem. Kim, too. She's just real new to Facebook. And then when Melissa's asked, where do we watch the old Zoom calls? Fine. And then Kim, you were commenting the live party video to Facebook link for a video blast. Facebook Live. So So if you're referring to that, Shaughnessy and I, and probably even Brenda on our virtual parties, like I was just talking with my host a second ago. I make dinner here Monday afternoon or Wednesday afternoon every single week, and I click the button on my phone and go live onto Facebook, and so all my customers can watch that. Is that what you're referring to? Live party visit. Okay. Good. She's nodding. Good. All right. So, and actually, if you want to watch any of the ones that I've done in the past, follow my VIP page is called Cooking Classes with Shelley. And you can, if you can't find that, let me know. Just shoot me a note and I'll add you. And that's kind of, Shaughnessy, I was talking about how I do 3 virtual parties at a time. And I route them into my VIP page, my biz page. That is working really well.
Oh, awesome.
It is working well, because rather than try to go live and do 3 separate parties a week, I'm doing 1, and I'm routing them into my VIP page. They get an exclusive invite to it.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay, that is working really good. No problem, Kim, at all. Okay, so let's see. Did everybody get a chance to share? And I wanted to just get it, kind of like do a little recap. We're going to be finishing up next week, and we finish with recruiting. No, what's our topic next week? Kind of helping coach your new consultants?
Time management, I believe, I think.
Time management. Okay, thank you. And Carol will be leading us on that, and she's the queen. So don't miss the last call. It's next Monday at 5 o'clock California time. But if you guys wouldn't mind, join me in giving a hand to the newest first-time recruiter on our team. Miss Kim has her first teammate.
Yay.
So excited for you. That was phenomenal. Just tell us real quick, how did that come about? Did you know Karen from before? And I can't hear you at all. I unmuted you. I can't hear you at all. Oh, shoot. Lock up. Guys, can you see or hear anything?
No.
I can see her, but
Yeah, we can see her, but we can't hear her.
Okay, no, Zoom tells me
she
that
recruited at a party, she says.
that
She was
it's
the one-
locked up. We may have to end this and start it again. My Zoom is locked up, guys. We haven't even gotten.
Yeah, your screen.
Yeah, you're frozen.
Okay, but you can hear me. Wow. Well, that's good. Alrighty. Yeah, it's completely locked
There
up.
you
Yeah,
Um,
you're live now.
You're live now.
Okay, let me give it a second. Alrighty, so what I'm going to try to do, I may have to ditch out of it and restart it. Right now, it's my Zoom says it's not responding and it's completely frozen. And it's recording, so that's great. Yes, we love technology. Okay, so I have the PowerPoint up for the topic today being customer service. I'm pretty sure I will not be able to share my screen. Do either of you other directors have the PowerPoint up and handy?
I have it.
Okay. If you can share it, go for it. But let's just kind of dive into that topic a little bit and talk about customer service. So what do you think that is? I mean, what are the benefits of customer service?
Really all about further building that relationship with your customers and making you their go-to Pampered Chef person.
Most definitely. Yeah. I remember, and tell me you gals who are newer than me, I remember back in the day, they used to say Pampered Chef was the Nordstrom's of customer service when it comes to kitchen, helping people with their kitchens. Have you ever heard that analogy?
Yes, because when you go into Walmart or any other store and you purchase something, they don't personally thank you or take the time to shop with you and make sure you're completely satisfied. Whereas when you go into Nordstrom's, They have exceptional customer service and make sure they greet you and take you around, and they actually do follow up with some of their customers too.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, if you went and bought, I mean, what was the last thing that you bought at a store? The last thing that you bought at any store, what was it? Somebody throw something out there.
Shoes.
Coffee pot.
You bought a coffee pot? Where'd you buy it from, Renee?
Walmart.
Walmart? What would you think if the salesperson who sold you that coffee pot the next day gave you a call and said, I'm just checking to make sure you love your coffee pot?
I'd be impressed.
From Walmart, right?
Yeah.
Precisely. And what would you probably do? I mean, you'd be more inclined to shop.
I'd be more inclined to go back there and shop again. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even if there were, 5 Walmarts in your town, you'd probably go to that one.
Yes.
I would too. I most definitely would too. I've actually got a customer service story from this last week that speaks volumes to this. So the concept is that if a customer gets poor customer service, they will, without a doubt, tell 10 people. And so you've got the word going out, right, about really poor customer service. If someone gets good customer service, yeah, they're likely to tell one person. So that's super powerful in the world today, where you have choices of where to shop. And people have choices where to shop for their Pampered Chef. My personal experience was I took and moved my daughter to college this weekend. And I'd really debated, I don't know if you're aware, but in the dorm rooms at every college in the United States, the beds are super long. They're really long. And you can't just go to Kmart or Target typically and find sheets that will fit them. You've got to go find extra long sheets. It's a pain in the rear. And then if you've got extra long sheets, you need long blankets and comforters, and all that stuff is super expensive, and you got to track all over town. So there was this company that's working with the university sent me this thing. It said, don't chase all over town, get one of our packages. And we did. We ordered it. I ordered it on August 29th, nearly a month ago. Can you guys still see me and hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good deal, because mine's still locked up. So directors, give me some guidance when you get a chance. And it didn't arrive and didn't arrive and didn't arrive. We're waiting for $300 worth of linens to arrive. And we picked a pattern and have been shopping to, outfit this dorm room that matched that pattern. And September 12th comes along. It's a week away from her moving in. I call. Oh my gosh, that's just awful. I'm going to get right on that and I will call you right back, Mrs. Weeks. No call back. Call the next day, different person, same story. Didn't get a call back. Called the next day, gosh, I'm really getting worried here. I would really like my linens. Can you track them? Can you do? And oh God, that's FedEx's problem. FedEx is messing up. I will track it and find out where it is and I will call you right back. Third consecutive day of hearing the same story. And they didn't call me back. By early this last week, I'm getting kind of worried. I need to make sure my girl has got some sheets to sleep on, right? And by third, and I'd moved my way up to a manager and a supervisor and their supervisor and on and on and on. And I finally, on Thursday, I thought I gave them every opportunity. And finally, the girl says, okay, I'm going to check on it and call you back. And I go, you know what, forgive me, but I have at this point zero confidence that that's what actually is going to happen. And if you were me and had been through this rigmarole, you probably would say the exact same thing. So I really do need to speak to your supervisor. Oh, they're not here, So I canceled the order with 24 hours before we moved in, and we had to run all over town, which I was really not wanting to do, and go find extra long sheets and beddings and linen and the whole bit. And then their customer service department started contacting me and trying to make it right. So this is really timely, huh? I can show you. I can open up my Facebook message just as we're sitting here. I've got another message from their customer service trying to save me as a customer, trying to fix it and make it right.
Too late. Way
too late. I mean, I would have loved if they had been this responsive at the very beginning. And hopefully the moral of the story is your reputation as a business person. You know, we may like to say, oh, I don't do sales. You know, I teach people how to cook. And yes, you do. But in fact, as Pampered Chef consultants, we do sell products and we have a service that we provide and we have customers. And so we're in customer service. And if you have and provide excellent customer service, you will gain customers. They will tell people about you. They will refer you. They will tell their friends to go, you know, they have their choice of 20 different Pampered Chefs, but you will stand out. And that's the message of this particular week's training, is how you can set yourself apart as the person who really will take good care of your customers. At this point in time, I have over 12, 15, maybe 13,000 customers as a Pampered Chef in my career. If you open up my contacts, that's the number. Almost 15,000 customers. And I work really hard to make sure I do provide as good a customer service as possible, but there's only one of me. And so I just had this conversation with 3 new people today. I'm like, we need you. We need more Pampered Chefs because there's only so much that we can do and, you know, do a really good job of it. So yeah, we need more. There's a lot of demand right now. And you don't want to provide really substandard service, right? You want to try to do your best. So as we kind of talk about customer service, there's certain kind of things that you need to do and different systems to help you do it. We were just talking about, you know, Shaughnessy having that list of contacts of who to follow up with. First of all is, you know, you tell somebody you'll do something, you need to do it, right? If you tell them you'll call them, you need to call them. You ever run into trouble with this? Like, my system is failing me. I want to be able to follow up and do the things that I've told people I want to do, but I don't know who to call when. Is that sounding familiar to anybody? Are you guys still hearing me?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we may be talking about systems and how to, you know, keep track of all your contacts. And it may sound kind of obscure and like I don't need to pay attention to that. I'm teaching people how to cook. I'm talking about the quick cooker. But in reality, it's the basis of customer service. You need to have a method. So if you're struggling with that, use our Facebook page for this event. And over the next couple of days, we'll share electronic systems, paper systems. There's a bunch of different systems. Find one that suits you so that you can keep track of it. So you can keep track of who you are in contact with and who you need to get a hold of to provide good service. I'm looking at the PowerPoint here. There's the 222 customer service method. Does anybody know what that is?
No.
No, it doesn't sound familiar. So it's a method of whether it's in a virtual environment where you are cooking with folks and doing some kind of a virtual party on Facebook or whatever social media, or whether it's in person. It's a concept where you set up a follow-up for providing customer service 2 days, 2 weeks, and 2 months after the first time you meet that person. So I did a party last Wednesday. Ideally, everybody who was at that party should have heard from me at least within 2 days. So they go to the party, whether it's virtual or not, and they're interacting with you. If they don't hear from you right away, you know, they're busy and they forget about it. But if you reach out and touch them, anyway, it might be via Facebook, it might be text, it might be a phone call. Kate's watching this recording going, Shelley, phone call. She hates picking up the phone and will be the first to admit it. But it doesn't always have to be a phone call. But you reach out and touch them at least within 2 days. Like, hey, thank you for coming. I just wanted to find out if you had any questions about our party. Okay, that's a great time to get additional orders. It's a great time to get additional bookings. And it's a really super time to offer the chance to come and do Pampered Chef, if you may not, whether you've offered it or not at the party. So 222, the first contact is 2 days after the party. Then 2 weeks is the second 2. And why would they say 2 weeks? Does that sound arbitrary, or can you figure out why that might, we might say 2 weeks? Any guesses? Dash, stop it. Anybody?
Customers have received their products by then, and we want to make sure that they've got them out of their box and that they're happy with them. See if they need recipes to start using them.
Exactly. That is precisely right.
And they have a 30-day, there's a 30-day window that they can have them shipped back for free if they're not happy with it. So you want to make sure that they're completely satisfied before they have to be returned.
Exactly. Without having to pay shipping, right? So if it's the wrong color, if a bar pan doesn't fit in their oven, you know, Pampered Chef will pay the shipping within 30 days of when their product shipped. So if you're calling 2 weeks after placing the order, you're still in that window. You're providing a really good customer service, right? And it goes to Renee's coffee pot. If she got a call 2 days after or 2 weeks after buying her coffee pot, hey, I'm just checking, making sure you love it. If there's a problem with it, boom, we can take care of it. Okay, if a year later, she hears from her salesperson for her coffee pot and she's had problems with it, she's going to be ticked because she's had to deal with that problem for a full year and could have really used the help. Okay, you ever talk to somebody who has a rock crock and it's still in the box? A food chopper and they're trying to use it and they didn't know how to put the little inside sleeve up into the blade, and it's just like working terrible and they can't figure it out.
Yeah, I had that.
You had that one? Mm-hmm. I bet you guys could think of even more examples. This is my example with the linens, right? If the linen people had called me 2 days after I placed my order, which was late August, and said, hey, thanks for your order. I'm just checking to make sure, see if you have any questions. I could have said, oh yeah, when's it gonna arrive? You know, geez, thank you for good service. And then 2 weeks later, boom, they would have caught that problem and I wouldn't have been racing around the night before we moved to college trying to find sheets for the bed, right? 2 days, 2 weeks. And then the last 2, what does the last 2 stand for?
2 months.
2 months.
2 months. Yep. So it's 2 days, 2 weeks, and then 2 months. So it's a nice mnemonic to remember. And 2 months is kind of neat because you've been using it for a while. How do you like it? Do you need recipes? I wanted to make sure you know what the specials are. Would you like to, do some cooking with you and your friends? That way I can get you even more of our great Pampered Chef products that you're using. So you can just provide extra service. Does that make sense? Is anybody doing that? 222?
I did 2-day calls today.
Marvelous.
Yeah, I'm trying to really fully implement it. But I read Belinda's 222 method, and for those that are kind of nervous about starting the 222 method and reaching out, that first 2 days, all it really is to say thank you for your order. And I just really keep it simple. And I'll actually I was reading right from, practically like glancing down and just making sure, but just saying, hi, Kim, I'm so, I'm just calling to say, it was a pleasure to meet you at John's house yesterday. And I'm just calling to simply just say thank you for your order. So thanks again. And Pampered Chef is really good about turning their orders around, and you should have it probably within the next week and a half or so. And if you have any questions, meanwhile, my number is, and or you know how to reach me. And
yeah,
that's it.
It's super simple. Yeah, they call that. There's a name for it. That 2-day contact. When I was getting trained, they called it a Big Mac call.
Yes. Yep.
Has anyone ever heard that?
Yep.
It's a morning after call. MAC, morning after call. We call them a Big Mac call. And it's all about appreciation. And you want to sound sincere, or if you're doing a text or a voicemail or an email or a Facebook message, it's thank you so much for coming. I mean, people are busy. So if they attended, you want to call and say, thank you so much. I had such a great time meeting you. I just want to check and see if you had any questions that I wasn't able to answer. A call like that will get an extra $100 added to an order. So those ones are really key. And then the 2-week call, again, that's making sure your product's out of the box. So we call it an out of the box call is officially what they use for that. And I'm just calling to make sure your products are out of the box. Do you need help? Do you need recipes? Do you have questions? Okay. And once you've done that, you can just very nicely say, hey, I'm happy to get a chance to talk to you. Do you have any questions would you like to hear what the specials are? Would you like to know more about having your own get together where we can make dinner with you and your friends next week? Would you like info about the $29 kit? It's only available this month. Okay. So you don't dump all over them. You're asking, would you like more info? Okay, same goes. So in the world of Pampered Chef, we are a service provider. We're in sales, but we provide a service. And there are only really three services that you offer. And your job when you do your customer service contacts is to be sure you're offering all three of the services. So I'm going to quiz you guys, and I've got 2 directors on the line here and a brand new senior consultant, Kim. Let's see if you can figure it out. So what are the 3 services that we offer? Any guesses?
Yes.
Go for it, Brenda. What's one?
Oh, the opportunity to make an income with Pampered Chef.
Okay, that's fabulous. Your brain is in the right place, the right priority. So the chance to come and do Pampered Chef, that's one of the services. Wonderful. What are the other 2?
The opportunity to earn free products and discounted products.
Exactly. Chance to get our products as hosts. Tremendous. You guys are awesome. And what's the 3rd service? It's kind of tricky, huh? No one's getting it?
Kim said that the consultant, she must not have heard my first one.
What's that? Kim says to be the consultant? Yep. So that's 3. And actually, okay, so the last one is the chance to get our products, to purchase them, to get them into your kitchen. And it actually, I'm fascinated by the answers here because the 2 directors on the call, Brenda said first was and Brenda and Kim said first was the chance to do Pampered Chef. Shaughnessy said the chance to host and get our products. The one you missed was get our products. Okay, so it actually goes, you went at it the way that I would want you to think of that in terms of priorities, but honestly, it kind of goes the other direction. There's 3 services. The first is we provide our products, okay? Second is providing our products at a discount by hosting. Third is the chance to earn money by doing the first 2. You see how it stair steps? So oftentimes you're in contact with someone, you're talking with someone, and you could move from one to any one of those 3 options in any one moment. Like, have you ever had a conversation with somebody, you're on the phone and you're doing a customer care call, and you'll say, and so is there anything else you need for your kitchen? And they'll go, oh yeah, I've had my eye on that quick cooker. And so you're talking about the products. Next thing you know, you're talking about them hosting to get the quick cooker for half off or free, right? So they went from here to here. And next thing you know, you're talking about them doing Pampered Chef so that they can actually help other people get quick cookers. So that's how that moves around. That's a very common, it's kind of just a visual to help you think about. Those are your services. Everything you do fits into one of those 3 buckets. One of those 3 buckets. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. So we have the 2-2-2 method. Is that helpful?
Yep.
Yep. All right. So I'm looking at my screens here, and it's goes into kind of the same detail we did about the 222. Any questions about that?
Nope.
Okay. Directors, if I'm missing anything, holler at me. There's this little screen, and I haven't seen this one in a while. It says 4 must-use phrases for better customer service. One says, I'll take care of that for you. Aw, that'd be great if somebody would take care of that for me. I'd love that. If someone else, if you've got a problem and someone says, hell, I'll take care of that for you. I'll fix it. No problem. Or the second one is, I'll take full responsibility. Wow, that's huge, huh? If you heard somebody say, you've got a problem, and they come up to you and say, I will take responsibility for that. No problem. I mean, these days, oftentimes, you hear people blaming other folks. If something goes wrong, number one is that in life, things do go wonkers. They go south sometimes. Sometimes there's problems. Sometimes we'll get a bar pan, arrives, and it's broken. Not my best, not my favorite moment, but I'll own it. I'll take full responsibility for getting that replaced and making that right for you. That's the answer that a customer wants to hear. Shush. Versus like, oh, they messed up at the packing at the facility at the distribution center and should have packaged that better. Gosh darn it, they suck. All right. You do want to take the high road, and it is always better to take ownership. And even if in the background you know that maybe there's an error or problem, you are the front person. You are the point person for that customer. And so you want to own it. And even when something messes up, that is, if you mess up, maybe it's you, maybe it was some other one, but if you mess up, the best thing you can do is take responsibility for it. I've got a gal who placed an order with me last week, and I didn't hit the button to send it. Gosh darn it, I messed up. So rather than run away from that or hide from it, I'm going to have to just suck it up and call her and say, I am so sorry. I'll take full responsibility. I messed up. I didn't hit the button and submitted your order. What is she going to think? Like, oh, that's why it hasn't arrived yet. Okay, I get it. Good. I'm glad to know the answer, why it hadn't show up, and you're going to take responsibility. You'll fix it. Fabulous. If on occasion you need to send somebody a season's best or, something to kind of like say, thank you for being so accommodating and so patient with me, you can do that. One of the best things you can say, thank goodness I have a really understanding boss. It's me. Right? We are not perfect, and we do not need to hold ourselves to the standard of perfection. But what you do need to do is take ownership if you mess up. It's one of the neatest things about Pampered Chef is that it's an environment you can mess up, and the whole world is not going to come crashing down around your ears. No one can fire you, right? No one can dock your pay. Your own actions will dictate how successful you are. And it's gentle. We have a safety net. Okay, so have you ever worked in corporate? I worked in a corporate environment. Talk about stressed. Good gracious. The best thing in the world that could have happened was me getting laid off when the merger happened. I was pregnant. We were closing on this house, and I thought it was the end of the world. But thank goodness that happened, because boy, there's very little room for error in a corporate environment. There's always someone desperate to take your spot and kick you out. And that's super stressful. Okay, but it comes down to our customer service. We provide really good customer service, and we care. You wouldn't be here if you didn't care about your customers, and you really, really, really are vested and want to hear the excitement about how, oh my gosh, I got dinner on the table and my family was thrilled and it was because of your rock crock. Wow. I mean, geez, that's the glorious bread and butter of our business, isn't it? So we take care of our customers. You just want to put yourself in that world. That is what you do. It's providing our services and getting a chance to reap the benefits of the good that you do for your community and your friends and your customers who become friends. Gosh, Shaughnessy and we have become such good friends, and it was all through Pampered Chef, right? We help each other. Even us both being consultants, we help each other. So I know Renee could speak to that as well, huh, hon?
Yep.
You help me, I help you. We're providing each other services, and we're delighted to do it.
Absolutely.
Thrilled and delighted to do it.
Yep.
Go find more people that we can bring into this Pampered Chef family and help each other. What a great thing. Did I tell you about the phone call that I was just on with one of my virtual party hosts that's going on right now?
No.
She booked from her girlfriend's virtual party from last week, and I had yet to talk to her on the phone, and got her party up and running, and she was really struggling with how to invite people to the event, the group on Facebook. She was stuck, and I was off in Santa Cruz. I wasn't available. I really let her down. I felt like I really let her down. And I kind of would shoot her a Facebook message here. I was trying to send her screenshots showing her how to do it, but I never got her on the phone. And we kept trying to get on the phone. And so I was feeling like I really provided poor service and didn't do my job, didn't provide enough guidance for this gal who's trying to be a host. I invited her to be a host. She said yes, and here I'm trying to do this. And I got her on the phone today, and it was all about, oh my gosh, thank you so much for sticking with me, Beth. I'm so sorry I left you in the lurch. But she has 114 people in her virtual party. She did it. So I was cheering her. I was congratulating her. And we got talking and everything. And guess what? She's signing up.
Yay, you.
She's signing up. Yeah. Because at the very end of the conversation, I'm trying to be thorough. I'm like, by the way, did you see the $29 kit? Is this something we should talk about you doing? And she's like, well, I'll think about it. A minute or so later, she goes, how many parties do you have to do? Like, well, I've got a system set up where I can help you get 3 of them started within the next couple days. If you'd like my help doing that. That's what we do for all of our consultants. She goes, okay, done. Sign me up.
I'm so sorry, guys. I got to jump off real quick. My team meeting's getting ready to start.
Okay, great. Give them hello from us, Shaughnessy. Thank you for your help.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Awesome. All right. So is this helpful, everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Very, very good. Okay. So when you're talking about your customer service, you just want your customer to experience excellence. And it doesn't always have to be perfect, but it needs to be sincere. And that goes a long, long way. So, please give yourself a little break. We're not after perfection, but if your heart is in the right place and your goal is to help and serve and give back and share your expertise and find out what their challenges are and help meet those challenges, help fix those challenges, help provide solutions with our products. And you find dozens and dozens of opportunities on a daily basis to do that. But you're walking in with a perspective of service. It's customer service. And if you ever find yourself feeling like you're embarrassed about asking people to host or telling people about the kit or taking orders or trying to get a party more sales or whatever, all of those things, thanks Carly, all of those things, that perspective can be fixed if you look at it from the perspective of I'm providing a service. So it's that gal today, I thought I had really let her down, and by the end of the conversation she was so jazzed and so excited at the thought of being the Pampered Chef. Like, I cook with my kids all the time, and I've watched you do this cooking from your kitchen. Could I really do that? Yes, of course, absolutely. So it's a small little adjustment, but I oftentimes, new consultants really get hung up on this. They're like, oh gosh, I don't want to call and ask them to do a party for me. Well, you're not. You're calling and asking offering to teach them and their friends. You're offering a service. You get the difference? Okay. So your cooking shows or your in-person or your virtual parties, whether they're in-person or whether they're virtual, the customer service, you really do need to be cognizant and aware that that's what you're providing. So if you have, say, a virtual party and it's kind of quiet in there and there's not a lot of interaction, you want to kind of be thinking about ways that you can private message, say, the host and ask her to post and comment on your individual recipes and whatnot, and to tag her friends, so that, you know, if we're trying to create an environment where we can help. And if it's completely quiet, then there's different techniques you can do to get some interaction going, and that's where you start to discover and find what challenges people are facing, and then you can provide, like, you know, there's one of the posts that's in the party packs that happens during the preliminary, and it's which meal is more challenging to get on the table, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Have you guys seen that one?
Yeah.
People are answering. They're responding to that, and you see dinner. And so your response then needs to be, well, gosh, great, you guys are in the right environment, because you're going to learn all kinds of really great ways to get dinner done super fast. That's what we're going to do this week. I'm going to help you with that problem. So that's customer service, right? Okay, then you take it one step further, and everybody who commented that dinner's their most challenging meal to get on the table, you message them. You private message them in Facebook and say, hey, I saw that you are really challenged with dinner, and I'm excited that you're here. Do you have any particular questions? You know, do you have any other friends who have challenges getting dinner on the table? You want to invite them? So see, your relationship building, and you're putting yourself out there. You're instigating and taking the initiative to help them. It's all under the umbrella of service. Okay. If you're at a live party, I mean, it's fun and it's interactive, and you're asking people, you know, to tell us about your favorite products or tell us about your biggest kitchen challenges, and you're doing the same thing. It's just live in person in someone's kitchen. So really, I just want to tell you, don't freak out. Really, this is just a conversation. Just a conversation, customer service. If you're calling someone on one of those 222 calls, and you haven't, let's say that the party happened 2 months ago and you haven't been in touch. Does this sound familiar? Maybe you haven't been doing those contacts. Just give them a call. It's just a conversation, and own it. You can absolutely own it. You could call somebody from a year ago that you've never been in contact with. That might sound like, you know, hey, this is Renee from the Pampered Chef, and I know it's been a whole year, but I'm going back and getting in touch with my customers from my parties last year, and I see that you bought a rock crock, and I'm just calling to check and make sure that you're loving it and see if I can help you. Do you need any recipe ideas? Do you have questions about it? You can do that a year later, 2 years later, 5 years later. Shaughnessy's been a consultant for 7+ years. She could go back and call customers from her first party and do that same thing. It's just a conversation. You're calling with service and help. No one would be mad at you for doing that. In fact, you might be surprised. Have you ever done something like that? Contacted somebody super long ago?
Lately, I've been contacting folks from 3-4 years ago. You know, just call, and I started the conversation, just asking if they've seen a catalog. You know, lately, you know, hopefully they're still enjoying all their products from the party. And you know, have you seen a catalog lately?
Right.
And go from there.
Right. Yeah, they might be like, oh my gosh, wow, I'm so glad to hear from you. I've got a food chopper sitting right here, and gosh, I can't get it to work. Right? You never know. You never know what you're going to hear, which is kind of one of the reasons why some consultants won't make those phone calls. But I promise you, if you set yourself a goal of making 10 customer service calls, we call them customer care, contacts to people you haven't talked to in, say, 2-3 months, I think you will surprise yourself. If they're phone calls, it's very likely you'll get a voicemail. How would you do a customer service voicemail? Just like Brenda just did. Hey, this is Brenda with the Pampered Chef. I know it's been forever since we talked. I was going through all my customers and I saw your name. I know you have a blah, 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 a food chopper, a rock crock, a bar pan, whatever it is. And I'm checking to make sure you're loving it. If you have any questions, need recipes, my phone number is, and I will put myself a note to check back with you next week. And then you make yourself a note and you call them back next week. And so now you've started brand new. You may do that a couple weeks in a row, a couple months in a row, and then boom, hear from them and go, oh, I'm so glad you got in touch. Does anyone have the, oh, I'm so glad you got in touch response ever?
Mm-hmm.
It's super gratifying when it happens. You may have, done your 222 and never heard a word from them, never reached anybody live, never got a response via text, never got a response via Facebook Messenger, email, nothing. And then all of a sudden, 3, 4, 5, 8 months later, they pop up and go, oh, I'm so glad you got in touch. I needed da 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 da. So you may not necessarily be getting a lot of feedback when you do this, but it is vitally important that you work customer care contacts each week into your systems. And they pay off. They're absolutely seeds that grow a garden. You plant them in the fall, they grow a garden in the spring, you harvest. You will be astounded. If your business is kind of not where you want it to be, customer care contacts. Calling with service, contacting with service. You can regenerate a business that is flat. If you feel like you're just constantly contacting the same people, customer care contacts. Yep. What do you think? Could you guys get behind a goal of 10 contacts a week this week for customer care?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you are willing to take that challenge, I want you to raise your hand and tell us you'll do 10. And as soon as you do, post in our 6 Weeks to Success page and tell us the results. Track it. Sound good? Okay. So we've been working on our 4 pillars of success. They are the belief, passion, skill, and the will. And we're still just kind of building on those skills. Your skills are they're a major component of your success. And one of them is the ability to do really good customer service, to provide good customer service. So I hope what I've shared with you today is valuable. There are ways to improve your skills. The 222 is one technique you can employ. What are some other ways to improve your customer service skills? Any ideas? Did I lose you guys? How would you improve your customer? What's that?
I thought I heard Kim. Was it Kim that said repetition? Just
doing it.
Doing it over and over.
She's absolutely right. Do it, because you'll start off going, I'm not sure what I'm doing, and you will get better. Same goes, Kate, talking to you. Same goes with booking phone calls or recruit follow-ups, lead follow-up. The first couple may feel really awkward, and then you get going, and honestly, you'll do 10, that I challenge you to do 10, and before you know it, you've done 20, because the first couple are more challenging and the rest of them are super easy. And you get on a roll. If you get on a roll, don't stop just because you did 10, please, okay? Keep on going. Stretch yourself. So repetition, absolutely. The question was how to improve your customer service. There are trainings on the PCU, Pampered Chef University, and YouTube Pampered Chef channel on how to do customer service. You don't have to recreate the wheel. Watch and have somebody else show you how. Okay. Who said something?
Melissa wrote, just researching, looking it up. Like, for example, on PCU, she had her first return and she didn't know how to do it. So she, had to look it up and learned and filled her knowledge of how to do a return. So.
Were you able to find an answer, Melissa?
Yes, I believe.
Great, good. I will often tell a new consultant, they want to know, their brand spanking new. They want to know what to do if somebody calls with something that's broken or whatnot. And honestly, I will tell them the best time to learn that is when it happens. Because I could fill their head with stuff about customer service and returns and 30-day window to return things at the very beginning when they're brand spanking new. It's not going to connect because it's not in context. It's not at the right time. When it happens, when they have somebody who comes to them with something that was damaged or isn't working the way they wanted it, or they want a refund, let's do it. Let's learn that skill at that time. And there are resources that you can go to the PCU, you can go to our team, post it on our team page. Super valuable way to learn something, because then the rest of the team watches as we answer your question and they learn at the same time. So lots of resources for when those things occur. So good for you, Melissa. You did exactly right. And everybody learns differently. Melissa went to the website. Someone else may call their director. Someone else may call customer service, right? Pampered Chef's customer service department, the Solution Center. They provide very good customer service, and we are their customers. Yep. Other ways to improve your skills: attend national conference. Oh my gosh, you will become such an excellent Pampered Chef in customer service, selling, recruiting, booking, all the skills. You could listen to the coffee talk and the Saturday success calls. Those trainings, they're quick, little concise ones. They're recorded. And if there's a particular topic, they actually have a listing of recordings from each week, each previous week. And you can just look and find the one where they covered customer service, because they no doubt had a training on customer service, and listen to that recording. That's a resource for you. Okay. Do lots of parties. You get really good at customer service if you're doing lots of shows. Okay. What do you think? Any questions?
Yeah. Coffee Talk. There is a Coffee Talk page, Facebook group. And so probably your director could
Yes.
add you to the group if they're already a member.
Mm-hmm.
Or, yeah.
So we are aware of 2 of them. That's Brenda, right?
Yes, yeah. So I'm on the East Coast. There's
Coast
one, and
one.
there's also
Mhm.
one on the West Coast.
Right. There's one that's run by West Coast directors. There's one that's, and I think that one's called Saturday Success Calls. And then there's another one East Coast called Coffee Talk. That one's led by Sharon Zellin. Is that right, Brenda?
Yeah, it's led by Sharon, Christina Maniscalco, Laura Polito,
Polito. Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
Heidi. Tom.
Awesome. The one on the West Coast is Diane McRae and Chris Freeball. And I need to step up and teach one of the classes again. The directors in the area just kind of take turns teaching on a topic, and they're fast and efficient. It's just kind of a little quick snippet. I know the one on the West Coast, it's 30 minutes, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. The first 10 minutes is share what's going well with your business, and then a 20-minute training. That's it. And they're recorded, and there's a library then of the recordings. So super great resource. I had a trip down to Southern California for, I forgot what it was. Oh, it was a funeral, gosh, in the summer. And so I had 6 hours of drive time, and I set it up in advance that I just listened to like 5 or 6 of those. Oh, I was so pumped and excited and motivated and ready to jam when I got home, because I used my drive time to listen to those. Yeah. So you can do it in one great big batch like that, or wherever you have just a little snippet. You're doing the dishes, hit the button and turn one on. Okay. Easy peasy. All right. Well, you guys have been fabulous. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. My screen on Zoom is still frozen. So I cannot guarantee that the recording is working because I haven't been able to, when I close this down, hopefully it will have grabbed the recording. If not, you all are going to have to share with your peers who are still in the program all the best tips you got from customer service talk tonight, okay? Promise?
Yeah.
Okay. Looking at information about the homework, and my understanding is that there is an error on this homework. So Brenda, cross-check me. One piece of homework is to watch a YouTube video from Belinda Ellsworth on customer service. It's 18 minutes. And I will tell you, when I started in 2000, I was fortunate enough to run into somebody who said, Belinda Ellsworth, get your hands on her training because she's phenomenal. And she is. And I finished my first full year as a Pampered Chef with a show average over $1,000. And I credit the training from Belinda Ellsworth for that. That wasn't me. I just did what I was told to do, which was the training that I got from her. So run, don't walk to watch this training, and I will post it on our on the 6 weeks page. So that's one. The second one is also Belinda Ellsworth talks about how to do a power hour. Is that correct, Brenda? Is that the right?
The video that I watched Courtney with today just explained, it was just one YouTube video, and it wasn't any relation to like direct sales. It was just like customer service overall.
Okay.
And she didn't mention any of these.
Okay. Well, so it's possible you guys are getting extra bang for your buck this week because there might be like one that Jennifer referred to in the video, and these are slightly different. So grab as many of them as you can do, and we will definitely, as long as you've made your extra effort to get at least a couple of them done, we will check off your homework box, okay? We promise. So there's 2 Belinda Ellsworth resources here. One's on customer service, the other's on doing a power hour. And then there's another link to a YouTube video that's only 6 minutes long. And it's Cindy Sparling and Crystal Jackson. They're both fabulous. And it shows how to make a power hour notebook and how to implement that. So I'm going to highlight those with the links and put them on our 6 weeks to success page for you, okay?
And Shelley, I did post these 3, the Belinda and then the Cindy Carlin's. These are posted on where I post, do you want extra customer, service training? Here it is.
Oh,
and I did copy these ones. I don't know if I copied and pasted the Jennifer Courtney's video, but I can go and do that once we shut down shop here.
Okay, thanks a bunch. Thanks a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have any questions about any of this, obviously just post them on the page and we'll all get it all clear. So as you're doing your homework, whether you're filling out the link or connecting with your director or both, how many shows will you commit to booking this week? How many host coaching calls will you commit to this week? I need you to set a follow-up call with your director or your recruiter to discuss those 2. How many new leads? How many new bookings? What were your sales? I find personally, even after this much time, that if I drill myself and answer these questions every week, I run a much better business. I'm more targeted. I get more done. It really falls right down to how many calls, how many contacts, how many shows, numbers of, set yourself a benchmark in each week. I'll make 5 customer care calls. I'll make 5 host coaching calls. I'll make 5 booking calls. I'll make 5 recruit lead follow-ups. So these kinds of things that we put in the homework are trying to help you establish good habits, and they work. So are you finding that over this last couple of weeks? Has it been helpful? So I will post the homework, and I want to thank you all for attending. Anybody have a best, oh my gosh, aha that they got from our time that we spent together this evening? Not going to cut you loose until I hear at least one. Who's got one?
I love hearing that. Go ahead, Kim.
Somebody may have to translate from Kim for me. I can't hear her at all. Okay, Renee?
I can hear you, Kim.
Do we have it? Brenda, can you hear her?
Yes. Yes. Yep. Okay. Oh, great, Kim. And for me, it was just just always remember that it's just I always have to tell myself that it's just a conversation when I'm doing customer care calls. And usually, if I'm if I'm wanting to do booking calls, but I'm just that phone is weighing so much, and I'm just so afraid. I started out doing customer care calls, and then it really then I get into the momentum, and then I can and then I get into the swing of things and make lots of calls. But I always look to customer service calls, just going into the call with no obligation, but just to make sure that my customers are happy, and the phone gets much lighter then.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It does.
Yeah.
That's a good way of putting it. It's your warm-up exercise. You sit down to work, bang out 5 customer care contacts, and you just get all loosened up. It's like warming up before going on a 5-mile run. Do your warm-up. Make those your customer care. Thank you, Brenda. I appreciate that. Is that what Kim was that Kim's feedback?
Her second part of her conversation, yeah, she was saying how to be able to take the virtual party into a live party. And then I think, Kim, I kind of lost track. Something about to be able to have that conversation.
I'm looking forward to catching up with Kim. Kim, I think maybe you and I need to get on the phone at some point and have a chit chat, because I missed out on so much of hearing from you today. So thank you for participating. I really, really do appreciate it. We've had some technological glitches, and you guys have persevered. I'm very proud of you. Give yourselves a great big pat on the back.
Yay!
Round of applause.
Round of applause.
We'll take this conversation to our 6 Weeks to Success page to follow up. Next week is our very last call. Are you sad? You're going to miss it? Oh, we want you to know that we have a director bound program that will start 2 weeks after this one ends, middle of October. And really, guess what? I'm going to let you in on a little secret. 6 Weeks to Success is director bound. Same thing, exactly the same thing, different name. Ta-da! So if you liked this and you want to, you like the accountability and you like the one-on-one that you get with the directors, we are starting the next program. It's called Director Bound, and everybody gets to set their own goals, but the idea is to help you reach directorship with some hand-holding, which is not as difficult as you may think it is. And that starts roughly middle of October. I am having surgery on October 5th. I will be part of that, but it may be Carol and Shaughnessy and Brenda that kind of move it along and get it going. Don't worry, I'll be around. I'll be back. Check on me every once in a while, but I will drop out of sight for a little while as I get one foot repaired and figure out what this is all about. And so thank goodness I have a very flexible job and a wonderful boss.
Yes.
Guys, give yourselves a hand. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Have a lovely evening. I'm going to turn this off. Cross your fingers. We got a recording, okay?
Thanks, Shelley.
Thanks for your help. Bye, everybody.